Hey folks, welcome back to Black and White. Here in Castelia City, getting ready to fight one of the two optional super bosses. And the first one is actually here in the Game Freak building. If you go up the elevator to the 22nd floor, you will find a special prize waiting for you. Now there are actually a couple things to do up here after you've defeated the main part of the game. You can catch all the Pokemon and get diplomas for doing so. You can talk to this guy and get a special sound clip, which is pretty awesome. Fans will recognize that as the Team Rocket hideout music from the original games, which is pretty awesome. And then the last thing you can do here is talk to this guy and have a super hard optional fight. And by super hard, I mean mildly difficult. This guy here is Morimoto. He is the insert of Shigeki Morimoto, who is the developer and programmer and all sorts of other things for Pokemon games, all the way back to the originals. And this is his insert, this is his battle, and unfortunately, it's kind of boring. His team is composed of Pokemon that you can get by this point in the game. As in, when you get to Castelia City, you could hypothetically have all these Pokemon. And it's kind of, dull. They're not very interesting. Like Lillipup. We've seen Lillipup before. How many times am I going to explain that it's weak and you can destroy it, but it's still annoying because it's Fake Out and Sucker Punch? Happens a lot. See? Fake Out. Look, right there. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing. You're fighting, like, one of the gods of Pokemon, and his team sucks. Like, yeah, it's high level, it's all 75s, but it sucks. Like, there's a certain thing to be said about Red and Gold Silver Crystal, in that his team was honestly not very good, but it held sentimental value, because, you know, it was the starters and Pikachu, and various other anime-related things. Here, it's a bunch of Pokemon you've seen over and over and have really nothing interesting about them. And I still need to complain for a little while longer about Lillipup because it's so boring and it's just taking a while to set up like I always do. It speeds up a little after taking care of it. There we go. Now then, three of his Pokemon are Simi Monkeys. I thought we were getting past this game. Like, you didn't throw any of those at me for a good long while, after about midpoint in the game, like a little mid-late point of game. But no, now you have one of the final boss optional super bosses has all three of them at once, rather than something interesting. There are cool fire types in Unova, there are cool water types, there are cool grass types. Why didn't you use them? Like, I know that Morimoto, like, he has weird tastes. That's probably true. His favorite Pokemon is Mew, but they couldn't logically give him a Mew in this game, because that would be kind of ridiculous. But, really, come on. Like, really? The monkeys? Really? Really? Anyway, Simi Sage was like the one dangerous thing to Lilo, because it was the one thing that could outspeed him. Aside from a certain other Pokemon, but that guy wasn't really dangerous either. So, yeah, had to use a potion and then attack him. Amazing. Thrilling. Fantastic. And yeah, it came down to low health, but I really wasn't worried at all. That's the thing. And there's Simipour, last one. Wow. It's so thrilling. It's just as thrilling as the last 78 billion times we ran into him. These guys were supposed to be early game Pokemon that taught you the rock, paper, scissors of the Pokemon type system. why is one of the optional super bosses using them? They're not good, they're not strong. Like, you know, use what you like, but this is just a lack of creativity. It's a lack of diversity. Okay, done with the monkeys, Swoobat. You know, why not? Of his Pokemon, this is probably the most interesting, because it's the one that is actually a dual type. All the rest are single type Pokemon. But, I mean, you can... This is a really early game Pokemon. And you've dealt with them over and over. Like, is this supposed to be, like, a test to see, have you learned how to take care of these Pokemon that you ran into in the first couple of routes? Like, I'm okay with a boss being, like, a final exam, but give us challenging questions, challenging subjects. Why? What the heck? I don't want this episode to be completely complaining, but you've seen me fight these dudes on time upon time upon time, and there's really nothing I can add. Like, why not, like, an all-star favorites team from the entire series? I don't understand. Why would you do this to me? Anyways, Zebstrika, last Pokemon. It's the strongest, but not that it really matters. Pure electric type, it'll use electric moves and maybe flame charge if it feels a little feisty. You can take care of it with a ground type move. And that's it. That's the story of Zebstrika. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't this just the most thrilling and creative boss fight you've ever seen? And yeah, Zebstrika, I believe, is another Pokemon who could outspeed Lilo, which didn't worry me very much because Zebstrika isn't very good. I say that having used one in-game. It's not that great. I mean, look at that. That was a Pursuit, sure, and I know I was switching out so I wasn't going to do a ton of damage, but come on. That was a stabbed wild charge right there. Come on. Use something that doesn't suck. Use something from later in the game. Use something from across generations. I don't know, just do something more interesting. Like, I understand, use your favorites. But at the same time, do what makes for good game design. Anyway, that's one of the two optional super bosses. So let's go fight the other one. Head on over to Undella Town. You'll remember we came in here and talked to her earlier. This is Cynthia. She's the champion of the Sinnoh region and the final boss of the 4th generation games. And she's the toughest boss in this game. Cynthia uses, for the most part, her team from Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, with a couple changes, but she does lead with the same Pokemon, Spiritomb. Spiritomb is a Ghost Dark type, which is that magic combination that has literally no weaknesses. Not that many advantages, but no weaknesses. And also this guy likes to use Double Team. It's a cheap tactic, and it's kind of annoying. But this also gives me a chance to use Quiver Dance, which I haven't really used much. And since Quiver Dance is a good sweeping mechanism, I would like to use it at least once in this playthrough. But I also don't want to abuse it too much so that he doesn't... so that Spiritomb is impossible to hit. That would be annoying. However, Lilo is getting quite a few stat ups out there, as you can see. Will-O-Wisp I pretty much don't care about, other than the health dropping business. Really won't do much to me. So I'm just gonna ignore it. Haters gonna hate. Because honestly, with that burning in place, I could still sweep her entire team, ideally. Anywho, that's enough stat ups, so let's get extremely lucky with that Energy Ball and one-shot Spiritomb. That could have been really bad, but luckily it didn't. It wasn't bad, which is awesome. Generally, you don't want to let him get too many double teams up, but if you're feeling lucky, you can do what you like. Lilo is following a similar strategy to Lilo, although Lilo is kind of copying Lilo, to be honest. Stat ups and sweeping. Now, if you can come in here with a perfect accuracy move, a move that'll never miss, like Aerial Ace, or Shockwave would be good, then this double team won't be really much of an issue, but at the same time, those aren't really great moves. And unfortunately, Aura Sphere, which is like the best of those moves, doesn't work since Spiritomb is part Ghost. So, either take it out quickly, or have something with a lot of PP, or just be really lucky. And of course, the nice thing is that Spiritomb doesn't really like to attack you very much. So, you can do what you like, honestly. And again, extremely lucky. It had a couple double teams up, but that crunch just went straight through, and I'm glad. Could have been bad if it didn't. Anyway, Milotic. This was kind of notorious on her first team. It's one of those durable water types, bulky waters, that can be a butt to kill, and will probably do a decent amount to you. It's one of those tank type Pokemon that I love so much. Luckily, Energy Ball is super effective, and it's like uber boosted thanks to Quiver Dance, so not much to worry about. And then since I'm uber boosted here, again, not much to worry about. Return one-shots it. See, part of the thing here is that you can go into this fight absolutely 100% prepared. Full PP, full health, everybody revived, everything. Unlike the champion battle, where you've been worn down and you've kind of gone through a gauntlet and you're psychologically destroyed. Anyway, so close right there. Oh my god, that frustrated me quite a bit. Because I really think that if the computer side go my way, that could have been another one-shot. But oh well. That just means somebody else can come in and take it out after it gets full restored, because, you know, obviously it's going to get full restored. Braviary is one of the new Pokemon in the team. It replaces either Gastrodon or Roserade. I don't know which one it replaces, because they're both gone, it doesn't really matter. But you've run into these guys a couple times before, not overused like a certain other Pokemon that will not be named, Morimoto, but you've seen him before, and you know, it's a normal flying type. He's an electric move, and it'll go down pretty well. Ice also works, etc. You've dealt with these guys since the beginning of time. That's not to say it should be underestimated. You know, it has Brave Bird, which does a pretty good amount of damage. It's an overall strong Pokemon, it's just very predictable. And I'm not entirely sure why I didn't just bring in Electra in the first place, but oh well. Down it goes. And Braviary isn't too much more complicated on Lilo's front. In fact, it just dies. That's about it. Yep. Rest in peace, Braviary. You symbolize the American way. Garchomp. This one is the most notorious on her team. Because Garchomp is Uber, oh my god. Last time I was in the metagame, that was actually relevant. But yeah, it's a pseudo-legendary. It does a lot of damage. It has Stone Edge, Dragon-type moves that will just destroy you. So bring an Ice-type, or a Pokemon with Ice-type moves that will either outspeed it or survive a hit. Because otherwise, you might be stuck in a very bad situation. And if you've ever played any of the 4th generation games, you know where I'm coming from. You understand that. You don't need me to warn you. Lucario. Lucario is personally the one I have most trouble with. Because freaking Aura Sphere, dude. It's like annoying, man. It's 90 base power, never misses. it will hit you for a lot of damage, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now, luckily, it's not too much of an issue here. Lucario is part steel, but luckily that's not enough to resist the power of return. It goes down in one shot. I would say, bring a fire type, or ground type. Cindy was actually a really good matchup against Lucario, just because it was immune to Aura Sphere and could hit super effective. So, good. Electros is the second new Pokemon on our team. Probably one replacing Gastrodon, someone most thematically similar. But, you've seen Electros before, so, you've been seeing it this entire playthrough, you should know what's up. They have Levitate, so don't try using ground-type moves, just attack them with whatever you've got. And it will go down. And, guess what's gonna happen here? Yep. And that, ladies and gentlemen, takes care of the final optional super boss, the champion of Sinnoh. The strongest trainer in Unova is no longer her. It's us. A trainer who faced Giratina. Well, I don't know a trainer like that. But I just know someone who wants to meet you. Let me go get him.